Whoa, now, what's this? An LP I've already completed? That's right, folks, welcome back to Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I'm SheepNDane, and today we're going to be tackling the Knuckles run of the game. That I was originally not planning on doing, but I've recently got into a mood to play through this game, so I figured I might as well finish off the LP all well and good. Because the Knuckles run is, well, I haven't done it yet. And there's a link at the beginning of the video if you missed out on the original run through of the game, so you could just click on that little link. It'll be at the very beginning with the intro cutscene. My dog's barking great. But be prepared if you click on that link, that LP's old. So I'm not that good at that. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna be running through the game as Knuckles. The game is different enough from I think they'll warrant a completely new playthrough, to be honest, because I don't know, it just plays differently. Now, that cutscene you saw at the beginning of the game was, well, at the beginning of the LP before I even started talking. That was basically what you're gonna see if you played Sonic and Knuckles alone without Sonic 3 combined. So this time I'm literally playing it from the very beginning with Sonic and Knuckles combined. So yeah, but there's a couple of differences here and there. Well, for those of you who don't know, A, B, and C is to jump, and if you push them twice, you will glide if you're Knuckles. This is an ability that Sonic doesn't have, so I can literally do stuff. Now, those walls there, if you remember, you had a spin dash of Sonic to break through some of them, and some of them were completely unbreakable. As Knuckles, you can just simply walk into them and it'll be demolished. Knuckles is an incredible powerhouse. And to be honest, this is, what can I say, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Now, these are the special stages that I've explained previously. You know, you have to get the blue spears, avoid the red ones. If you get the red ones, then goodbye, because you are gonna have some issues. But for the most part, it shouldn't have too much of an issue. Now, one of the differences about the Knuckles run is that because Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles are they were designed to be one game originally. There's levels in Sonic 3, the sections in Sonic 3 can only access as Knuckles, so that's one of the reasons why you need both games to really enjoy the game fully. But it's a couple of interesting things, because the level design in Knuckles' story, for the most part, is the same on points, but then certain levels will completely break off to be their own unique levels, and other parts of levels just simply won't be accessible. So really, it's a completely different experience playing as Knuckles on this. Anyway, got all the spheres. There's the first Chaos Emerald for us. Now, as always, if you get 7 of these, you get transform, blobdy blobdy. We all know that by now. It's nothing new, really. See, Knuckles got a Chaos Emerald. But one interesting thing about this is the storyline of this takes place just after. Well, not just after, but it takes place after the events of Sonic 3. So basically, Angel Island is in the sky, and Egg Robo is suddenly started running amok, and it's your job as Knuckles the Echidna, the island's protector bloke guy, to go and take care of this menace and get it off the island. I mean, there's nothing new. It's got some nice little features as well in the game to really bring about the whole this comes after Sonic and Knuckles, because, well, Sonic 3 and Knuckles normal. Because of the island is now in the sky, you can see like backgrounds of clouds and stuff, as opposed to what you saw before, which was sea line. A sea line, yes. God, I'm doing bad. Alright, but in other levels you can see different little features as well. Keep an eye out and you'll see little touches they've added and make it more believable this takes place afterwards. Anyway, go by here for another Chaos Emerald? What? Did the game just take away? Okay, that was peculiar. What? What? So what just even happened? Oh well. I was thinking about cutting these out, but considering this is gonna be basically my LP in my new commentary state when I'm actually getting decent-ish LPs in my eyes, I think it's probably wise for me to actually just talk through this as if it was a real first-time LP. But anyway, Angel Island Zone, the first zone of the game. I must explain this because I'm yet to talk about it. It's obviously the obligatory green, easy island zone of the game, the very first stage of the game. Obviously, don't have to worry too much about traps or anything. Enemies are really pretty pathetic, actually. You don't have to worry about anything. Just basically have a nice stroll along, or speed along, depends on what you prefer to do. And yeah. But basically playing as Knuckles is a whole new emphasis on the game. It adds a new layer of gameplay, I guess? I don't know, what the hell am I talking about? But if any of you are wondering, I am not going to be playing as Tails. No. Why am I not going to do an LP as Tails? Because it's redundant. The reason I'm showing off Knuckles here is because his game has enough original content for me to warrant it, and it's a perfect excuse for me to pick up the game again, but with Tails, there's no point even bothering, because he's basically just another Sonic. It's with the ability to fly, which, to be honest, breaks some... Well, actually, it doesn't really break some levels. I rarely use Tails' flying ability. Actually, come to think of it, I'm struggling to find times when I do use it. It is a really rare thing for me to use that. I digress. Now, getting the Chaos Emeralds for Knuckles will be a bit awkward for me in particular, because I rarely go back to Knuckles' story. Whenever I play this game, I usually go straight to Sonic or Tails, because they're the game I know the most, and honestly, I prefer playing as them. But we're about to see one of the main differences. Now, remember in Sonic's story, you had to take this little thing I just broke to get up to that platform up there. Well, Knuckles can't do that because he breaks stuff, so we are forced to go through this cavern, which will lead to an alternate version of the original mini-boss. Now, the boss is pretty much... He's slightly different. Now he shoots out flamethrower a bit more often, and he'll also shoot bombs from the sky, but basically do what I do, and really, he gets annihilated. He is pathetic as always. But one thing about Knuckles' story is the bosses have been either revamped or changed. Basically, the bosses are... It's basically the hard mode of the game. Everything's been ramped up in difficulty, and it's not too bad. I mean, I can get through it just fine, but way back when I used to have issues. But this is a brand new level designed perfectly for Knuckles. It's a Knuckles-only level for that reason. Now, when you're playing through the Knuckles-only segments, you probably use a lot of gliding, a lot of climbing up walls. A lot of Knuckles' ability. Oh yeah, if you glide into a wall, you can climb it. So basically, the game really makes you utilize Knuckles the best you can. And like, it's actually quite interesting how they don't do this that often with the newer games. Like, even the newer games, when they have additional characters, it's their own unique thing. They don't try and blend them in and make... And I don't know, they just don't try and do the same amount of work as they do back then. That's what I find, at least. I could be wrong. Hell, this has come from the guy who likes Big the Cat and despises Amy... I hate Amy Rose in Sonic Adventure, seriously. Anyway, it's very simple to get through. Island's on fire, as always. I love how the Egg Robot decided to take the exact same invasion strategy that Eggman used, even though Eggman's strategy worked oh so well the first time, didn't it? I just don't understand these robots' logic sometimes. But it might take me a bit longer to get through the levels for Knuckles' story, because oh my god, that was amazing. Just because it's a lot harder, and I tend to take a lot more time with it. In terms of playing Knuckles' story, I tend to take more times in levels. Anyway, first major boss. Now, he's pretty much identical to Sonic's version, except he shoots more fireballs. That's the only difference. Really? I expect you to get hit, but I don't... you can't die. If you die, there's... Why are you playing this? Pick something else up. I want to say pick up Dynamite Heady then, but that's not an easy game in the slightest. I could help you that one day, actually, Dynamite Heady. Anyway, we got through Act 2. Now, one of the differences is, because obviously the bridge is there, we just simply jump down into the next zone as Knuckles, so... Why does Knuckles feel the need to jump down? Oh. Anyway, welcome to Hydro City Zone. I keep saying Hydrocity. Hydro City Zone. This is the obligatory... Well, I can't really say it's the obligatory water level of the game, because this game has a couple of levels I would assume are water levels. But anyway, we're gonna want to... First things first, we want to go up here, because this is the way to... This is a way to get another easy Chaos Emerald. I tend to have issues getting some of these emeralds sometimes. But oh god, I messed up there. It's going to take a bit longer. Mainly, the main thing is, with Knuckles' story, you might need to relearn the layouts and stuff just to get some emeralds. I mean, this emerald's available in both Sonic and Knuckles and Tails. Actually, I shouldn't even mention Tails. Tails is a non-issue.